this again. And imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face. Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face. This won't be of any... Imagine having the gall to want 100 generations gazing at your own face.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his side.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? But are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. No one cares where I go. They know I can't leave the island. It's nicer out here than inside anyway. But you didn't die. I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. You can stay out here with me if you want. You don't seem that scary.
Void Woken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They made it to shore. Junk.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hole. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? White. Which goes for the dry parts round here too, I imagine.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply affected...
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Oh, may the Seven have mercy on their own creation. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine, I accept, on one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. Jolly good. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic and, yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, My Lord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
Hurts, doesn't it? Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. I'm fading. Focus. Prepare yourself.
I thought these bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay.
The face is familiar. What's left of it? He was aboard the ship.
Deplorable surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead. There isn't much to say. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation, and justified it is too. You'll be as certain as the sun, such is my conviction. A black cat. A herald of wisdom in my homeland. How fortuitous.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
What's this? I found something. I need to dig here. I don't have the right tool for digging. I wonder where this leads.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger. How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Oh, it's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Oh yes, an exceptionally common but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull. I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Rivalon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal. Oh, get away! Monster! Hide the children! You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... Well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features. Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have important things to do on Reaper's Coast. I cannot simply sit about waiting for the rest of you to die so I may continue my business in peace. No. I may be an eternal, but my patience has its limits. Indeed. I may be the only eternal. My people seem rather absent. At least from this realm. As for the others, well... There is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers. I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours? I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There's rather a lot to see. Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
You hear a small whimpering sound from behind a basket. The child quiets and seems comforted by your presence.
There are monsters here. Lizard ones and real ones. How do you know? You're really nice. I like you. You can have this. I found it outside, but I...
The child smiles. She starts tracing small...
Is it not enough that you travel with me? Go on then, bark away. Let's see if we can...
Go. Get out. You are not welcome here. Go, man-pig.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Please. Please. You hear me, human. Leave. You hear me, human. You hear me,
Anis, no, I'll protect you.
No, Coral. Go.
But Anis, I can.
Quiet, child. Run, now.
baker.
They're transforming. They're transforming.
I'll yield!
Oh, it's done.
None. Take you.
Swallowed too much seawater.
Foolish to attempt an escape by sea in these waters.
Under lock and key. junk.
The cat's eyes are clouded. It appears.
Alexander. Wait. He's too well protected here.
Now stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escape.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Bishop Alexander idly glances in your direction, curiosity on his face. Recognition. Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
This, what a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
These creatures are so prone to violence. Naturally, the weaker specimens suffer.
Hasn't changed a bit. Always late.
Hey, mister. It's a lot nice. Sure wish more of us could have. Though, I did see one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few... Ooh, that's a pretty one.
Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself, they were so close, almost within arm's reach. Whatever do you mean by that?
The man shudders with the revulsion of a zealot, eyes rolling with disbelief.
You take that back! You take it!
I can't wait all day.
Did you see him? You did, right? Those that Magister, that was Bishop Alexander, leader of the Divine Order.
The Magister looks at you sideways.
Now, why don't you move along and settle in? A Magister will come and find you when they're ready.
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Come on then, Lexi. Pay up.
I find any bread, I want no trouble.
Bow your head, please! If we chant the... It isn't the words you speak, but rather that you speak. Haven't you heard? Bishop Alexander, the Divine's owns, do not doubt that he will...
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy...
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Just pay up, elf. No one shorts griff. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food.
Food?
protection. I have neither.
You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters. Now come on, Elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
Why, yes. Of course I am. All my life.
Hello, Dee. I would. Impaler.
He shifts uncomfortably.
Ah, get out of here, will ya? You ain't worth my time, neither are you.
The elf smiles and bows to you in thanks.
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
I saw what you did there, convincing Burrow not to lay the law down on that elf. Why do you want to help one of them? Then you're in the wrong place. We run this joint. Griff's.
Hey, I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves in.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. And you were Iffen Ben Mezd, right? Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean. I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only.
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours. Dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just, I'm just a bit, well, a bit hospitable. Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to... But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front. Friendly like a goddamn Gold Star Inn for the disembodied. Feels like just one, strangely enough. Big one, though. Don't know its name yet, either. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah? I was just thinking the same sort of thing. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if, when, push comes to shove. Lately, I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought, and I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.